I've been so fascinated with showing exactly where a country actually is, not necessarily showing where its location is on a world map. I'm talking like deeper than that. This map is a perfect example here. This is China. When you think of China, this is very likely what you were thinking about. This is pretty much where like all the Han population is coming from. That's like the biggest ethnic group in all of China. And for thousands of years, every single form of China in the past has always had this land. That's exactly what this map is breaking down. It's showing how many different versions of China have ruled different territories, or all the territories ever ruled by China starting from 1750 BC. So you're literally talking over 3,000 years for a lot of this land here, which again goes to my point why that is China. Like this is real China here. Now that's not necessarily me saying that, you know, I don't officially recognize China's claim to, I don't know, Manchukuo up here. Should not have used that word. It's Manchuria. That Manchukuo was the Japanese occupied version of this land. Whoopsie. I do have to be careful when I'm talking about this subject because, you know, obviously there's a place like Tibet. Tibet definitely wants to be their own thing, and the Chinese definitely say, no, that's our thing. I'm kind of just saying maybe I should bring up a different example for a different country to prove my point. For example, a neighboring country, Russia. This is Russia out here towards the west. If you're thinking of Russia, you are likely thinking of any of these territories here. I'm not saying that they don't also own Siberia. Of course they do. And I mean, Siberia is a pretty famous part of Russia with the gulags and everything. But where the Russian people actually live, where their power comes from, where they manufacture things, where they do the things to be a country, it's all gonna be out here in the west. Like, this is Russia. China's a really interesting example of this because their borders have changed so much over the thousands of years, and also this is still a very hotly contested topic. We talked about Tibet, but here's the other elephant in the room, Taiwan. The island of Taiwan was only controlled by the Chinese for a couple of centuries here. They actually controlled the northern parts of Vietnam for longer than they controlled that island. Funny enough, another very famous island that's pretty much synonymous with China now, they've controlled this one for almost 1,500 years. They actually controlled North Korea. Well, it wasn't North Korea at the time, but the Korean peninsula longer than they controlled Taiwan. They controlled Mongolia for several centuries as well, finally getting their revenge on that horde. Now, I should say that, you know, just controlling land for a certain amount of time does not automatically mean it's yours or not. It's just interesting to compare.